Gravity is all that I know. She's over me. She's over me. She comes with her hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas. We are live. By God, we're live. Had a bit of a screw up yesterday. It was like I was sitting here prepping for the show, getting all set to go, and all of a sudden, boom, everything's dead. All the power was gone. All of a sudden, we're sitting, and we just had the big, kind of a big first snowfall. Really, it was like 6 inches or something stupid like that. And I don't know why. I don't know why the power went, because that's up here. That's kind of a small snowstorm, really. But something happened to some pole or something somewhere and knocked it out. But we were down for several hours. It was, well, it kind of sucked, to be honest with you. And I just couldn't do the show. So my apologies to all of you for missing last night. But it takes electricity to open a portal. And I didn't have any. So we were dead in the water. Not much I could do. But we are live tonight, and by we, I don't mean just me and my many personalities. I mean me and my good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard.
We got the power!
Yeah, Yep, that's us. We got the power. We are live and absolutely unrehearsed, so you get what you get. We don't prep, our performances. We don't script this.
Research?
This is completely, well, we research, I think, but we are unscripted, as it were. So what you get is what's right on our minds. That's you get it raw right from the tap, unprocessed, what's that they do to milk? Homogenized,
pasteurized,
homogenized, yeah, any of that stuff. It's all raw from the tap. So
straight from the teat, so to speak.
Don's teeth. Not mine. Mine went dry years ago. So anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly. This is what you're here for.
Circling the drain.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. Usually we can go full stupid in no time around here. We don't even have to warm up. We're like stuntmen for stupidity. Hey, what's this? Yeah, that's us.
Hold my beer.
Yeah. So welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Paranormal Portal, our forum for all things paranormal on Saturday night. Yep, that's right. And we are thrilled to be here with you. We're thrilled to be live and underway. And if throughout the course of the show you got something paranormal on your mind, by all means, call in. We'd love to hear from you at 720-923-0500. Again, 720-923-0500. And if you got something paranormal on your mind, but you don't want to call in, that kind of freaks you out, then feel free to email us at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. Again, paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. So those are your ways to get in touch with us. If you got something you want to share of your very own, we'd love to hear from you. So, I don't know. Don, how you doing, brother?
Oh, man. Just trying to get this thing started, this work thing going. And it's been 7 days, 10-hour days, 7 days. And I still got at least 3 more to go.
Oh, there you go.
10-hour days, that is.
It'll be a beautiful paycheck, won't it?
Yeesh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the perks for giving at the office, so to speak. So,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
well, you know. I'm just saying.
Rather be given than taken.
Yeah. That was your old job, Don.
Yeah, pretty much.
You were taking something there.
Come here.
Come here. All right. But anyway, this is our forum for all things paranormal, so we're going to talk about a lot of paranormal things. And I guess we should just get going.
Get going.
First of all, let's see what's in the headlines. Anything coming up today? This is something I wanted to talk about. I was trying to explain them, but if you don't have visual references, they're kind of sucky to try to explain, but well, I mean, because it's.
I was going to offer visual cues, but I suppose we'd get get banned on that one. I'll give you visual cues.
Probably, yeah. No hand signals, Don. Let me give this. Put this link in the TFR chat because they don't have the benefit of the YouTube live video as all of you on YouTube do. So let's put it there. It's in the tfrlive.com/chat. There's a link of the article we're going to be going over right now, but this is from Unexplained Mysteries, unexplained-mysteries.com. And the article is Witches' Marks. Geez, what the hell is that? Witches' Marks found in old church ruins. And nope, that's not a sphincter.
What? Oh, my God.
Look at that. Archaeologists have discovered...
Is that Timbuktu?
have discovered 12th century stone markings that were created to ward off evil spirits.
That'd scare me away.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, though, because this is in a church of all things. Why would oh, that wasn't where I was going with that at all. No, I wasn't meaning that, Don. Just want to grab them back.
What kind of church?
Yeah. Church of the back door. I don't know. But it is these witch marks. Just for a little background, these are marks that people put up in old times. They were symbols or talismans, if you will, to ward off evil spirits. Now, the reason I think it's odd that it was on a church is that by virtue of being a church, that should be warding off evil spirits. You know, you're discussing the quote unquote word of God. You're preaching the gospel. That should be warding off spirits all by itself. But some people still felt the need to
go to the back hole. I'm sorry, this one's gonna kill me.
Communion in the front, baptisms in the back.
Oh my God!
Sorry, I'm just horrible. I'm absolutely terrible. I apologize to anybody out there. I probably owe a lot of people an apology for that, so I'll just get on that right now. I'm really sorry about that.
We have a 504, a 504.
All right, so I don't know. Like I said, we go full stupid in no time. So you get what you paid for. Just remember that. You can get your money back at the door. Found in the remains of a church in Stoke Mandeville, Buckinghamshire. The markings exhibit multiple designs, including the ones that resembles a bicycle wheel. That's probably a better. That's a better metaphor.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's a bicycle.
That's a better metaphor than the one I had cooking. So.
Right in on a bike, right out on a rail. Wow.
That resembles a bicycle wheel pictured above. And another with multiple points joined in the center with a vaguely circular or flower-like outline around the outside. And those are really common. I don't see that one demonstrated here in this article, but dating back 900 years to medieval times, St. Mary's Church was abandoned in 1866 with the construction of a new church closer to the village. Experts believe that the markings are what are known as witches' marks, special symbols and patterns designed to trap spirits within their endless lines. Stop it, Don. It is fascinating insight into the past, said archaeologist Michael Court. Discoveries such as these are unusual markings have opened up discussions as to their purpose and usage. Evacuations at the site are currently being undertaken.
Evacuations. That's what you said. You said evacuations.
I did. I'm just reading the damn thing, dude. This is no longer my fault. Are currently being undertaken in preparation for the construction of the new HS2 railway line, which will pass through the area. Archaeologists have said the work has revealed years in heritage and British history. I guess they do have a few more that are shown here.
Please show something else.
Yeah, I know. There's other ones. They look more like letters, Don. I think we're safe now.
I think we'll go with those.
HS2 archaeologists have uncovered medieval graffiti and witching marks while excavating the remains of St. Mary's Church, Stoke Mandeville. Some of the marks could also be interpreted as early sundials, too. Learn more about this at their link, which actually looks like it works, believe it or not. And that's it. So now I have seen these witching marks, in fact, in the old depot where we were. I think they were in there as Steve was tearing out walls.
Oh yeah.
Yep. There was the mummified cats in the foundation. So whoever lived there was really whoever lived there was really apparently worried about evil spirits because they had the mummified cats and the witching marks on the studs underneath the drywall, or the plaster, as it were. So pretty cool. I don't know, but it was an old custom that, and people used to put shoes in walls and all kinds of strange things to ward off evil. And it's funny because they were warding off black magic and stuff that way as well. But it's just magic, and so they were kind of utilizing a magic of their own to counter another kind of magic that they were afraid of. So, because I don't think this stuff is necessarily of a religious dogma. I don't think that it's pretty clearly stated in biblical lore that you're not supposed to utilize, what's the word I'm looking for?
Idols?
Idols, yeah, graven images or idols and stuff. And so, thank you. That was what I was looking for. So I don't know that would fall in line with a lot of biblical reference as far as dealing with this stuff. So it is almost like a melding of different beliefs under the umbrella of the Christian church in this case, which is fine. I mean, that's perfectly cool. And in fact, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But it is kind of funny that those would have been adopted. And maybe they were kind of secretly adopted. Maybe the church elders had no idea what that meant. Maybe they did. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. But very cool. Those are witch marks. You'll find them on a lot of old buildings, especially buildings from the 1800s and such. They are, and that's where I saw them, was on a friend's house. He had an old depot. It was an old train depot from the 1800s.
Yep. And
he was refurbishing it and making it his home. And sure enough, there was a lot of strangeness in that house where somebody was obviously very preoccupied with dark energies and stuff. So do they work? Like anything else, if you believe in them, they work. So just my thoughts on that. But that's our first start for the night. That's fresh off the presses. And that was actually from just yesterday. That article hit. So
sweet.
That's a new discovery, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it first here on the portal. On the portal, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here. Did I just screw that up? No, I still got it here. Okay. And James Randi died, just so you know. Any of you are familiar with James Randi? He was the guy that really went out of his way to demolish Uri Geller and his career because he was James Randi was a magician, and he was really against the charlatan kind of antics, and
You don't like Uri Geller anyhow.
I don't, because I think he's, it's nothing against the guy, but I think he's full of it. Not that I don't think those things are possible. It's just that I don't think he's doing them. I don't know. He was just too glammy and Hollywood.
Right.
So
right.
I think it was just a elaborate con, and he's still trying to pull it out there. So
yeah, we did when about 8 months ago we were talking about that.
Yeah, and he popped up. I saw him being interviewed on was it Joe Rogan maybe just recently
on Rogan's podcast.
I don't know if it was Rogan. I think it was Rogan, but it was one of those higher end podcasts. Uri Geller was on there. I thought it was Rogan.
You higher. What'd you say? Higher. Never mind.
Oh, okay. I don't know where we're going there. But anyway, James Randi has passed. He was, I think he had like $1 million reward for anybody that could prove this stuff was real. And nobody ever claimed that check. So
You said the higher end podcasts. What are we? Chopped liver?
well, we're good. We're good and all, but we don't have millions of followers or something. We don't have gajillion
It's
of
only
downloads.
because he was on TV.
That's true. He was. Yeah, and James Randi did I think he worked with Carson, and they had Uri Geller on, but Uri Geller didn't know that James Randi was there and helped set up the tests that they had lined up, and he couldn't perform any of them. And obviously because they were set to remove any of that shenanigans, and I think Uri Geller was just humiliated. And he's still around though. I don't know. Some people just want to believe in him, and that's fine, I guess. But I don't think there's much to him. But anyway, that's it. What the hell is this?
Oh.
This is strange. I just see this for the first time. So I'm going to bring it to you guys because that's how we roll here.
Okay.
Possible new organs identified in human head. Now, this doesn't seem to have any images. It's just a little blurb here, so I'll just read it for those of you that don't have visuals. It's all auditory anyway, really. It says, scientists in the Netherlands believe they have identified a previously undiscovered pair of salivary glands. Considering how closely the internal workings of the human body have been examined, analyzed, and scrutinized over the centuries, it's a wonder that there are any surprises left to discover. Despite this, however, it seems that there is a mysterious set of organs inside of our heads that, until now at least, had remained totally undiscovered by science. According to study co-author Dr. Mathies Valstar and colleagues, these new glands can be found in the nook, where the nasal cavity intersects with the throat. And there are 3 other known major types of salivary glands, one set under the tongue, one near the ears, and another below the jaws. Given the small scale of the study and the potential significance of the find, it would be the first identification of this kind in nearly 300 years. There's still a lot of work to be done to validate it. Nevertheless, the researchers remain optimistic that what they found is something special. I was quite shocked that we were in 2020 and have a new structure identified in the human body, said radiation oncologist Dr. Yvonne Mowry of Duke University. Well, there you go. There might be another couple salivary glands. That's not nearly as significant as I thought it was going to be.
To what purpose?
I suppose to keep the throat wet or something. I don't know. That's the salivary glands are. I mean, they're good for lubrication, obviously, for the throat and the mouth. But if those membranes and tissues go dry, they would become damaged. So I guess it's to keep us swallowing stuff. I don't know. By the description, it's like it seems to be back in the nasal throat region. So
Okay. All right. Sweet.
Covering your mouth didn't work at all. In fact, it kind of channeled it.
Sorry. You're killing me tonight.
I'm getting killed in my eardrum. Sorry, brother. I just hurt. It's painful. All right, let's continue on. So, what? Afterlife digital copies or clones?
Afterlife digital copies.
Yeah, that's something different. I don't know. It's a video, though. We can't really show it, so never mind. I don't know. I just read that, and I was like, what? That's kind of interesting, but that's not really paranormal at all. They said that the ISS air leak was finally traced using a tea bag. So I guess they were able to...
They were teabagging the ISS?
I think they covered up the air leak with the tea bag. Jim, it's your turn.
Damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a little boy with his thumb in a dike.
What was that one movie where that was like there was this monster in the spaceship and stuff, and they hit a hole in it. They got a hole in it, and there's this huge vacuum leak going out into space, and this monster was really tearing them up, but they somehow managed to get the monster too close to the air hole, and it gets sucked up to it, and then it's like being vacuumed by the insides out into space. It's like. It was the grossest damn thing I ever saw. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Oh. That's terrible. I felt even bad for the monster because he was totally bummed. He had it won, and then he got sucked into that air hole. Anyway, here's some UFO. This is late Lieutenant Colonel hinted at the fate of Project Blue Book. And I think that that's still underway. It's just I think I think they just changed the names of that stuff. I should check the clock, though, to see where we're at. Yeah, we got 8 minutes. We're fine. I'm going to pull this over, and we'll have a peek at what's going on here. We're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff tonight, including more Bigfoot reports. We don't ever make it through too many of those, as it works out. But it says, late Lieutenant Colonel hinted at fate of Project Blue Book. It says, new documentary has hinted at what could be a real reason the U.S. government shuttered its UFO program. See, I don't believe that at all, though. Do you, Don?
You don't think that they closed down their UFO
No.
investigations?
Do you?
From the 1970s? Are you sure?
No, I don't at all.
Oh, come on. You got to be kidding me. You don't think they... the government said it happened. It happened. Why question your government?
I guess it's the conspiracy guy in me.
Whatever.
I don't think they ever would shutter that stuff. I think that they just put up smoke screens and stuff to keep people off the scent.
No, of course
They
not.
do, Don. They do.
The government's there to help us.
I know it is, but I think they want to help us by keeping us in the dark. It says, carried out by the U.S. Air Force between 1952 and 1969, Project Blue Book was an in-depth study of unidentified flying objects, the largest of its kind ever undertaken. It had two main goals: to determine if UFOs were a threat and to scientifically analyze the data. By the time the project had ended, did it really? It had collected an archive of some 12,618 UFO reports. While most of these were deemed to have conventional explanations, a small percentage of the sightings remained unexplained even after being subjected to stringent analysis. Officially, it was concluded that none of the UFO sightings investigated by the by the Air Force posed a risk to the United States, and nor did they represent evidence of an alien visitors or advanced technology. Wow. Not everyone, however, is convinced that the things were quite that straightforward. In a recently released clip from the new UFO documentary, The Phenomenon, I have not seen that. Have you?
I have not. I haven't had a chance to stop yet.
Okay, so you knew it was out there, though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is new to me. Director James Fox speaks to Lieutenant Colonel Robert Friend, who headed up Project Blue Book from 1958 to 1963. During the interview, the last he gave before his death in 2019 at the age of 99, Friend drew attention to the potential reason that the U.S. government had decided to shutter the program, which would suggest what, he said, that they knew what the UFO phenomenon was. Or didn't know what it was, Fox suggested in response. Also the other way, Friend persisted with a smile. They did know what it was. So was Project Blue Book discounted because officials had found what they were looking for? And if so, what could that have been? So I'm not going to play the sneak peek to the documentary, but it is interesting. What could it have been? What could they have discovered? Well, I assume they discovered that they were real and very valid. And then you start to consider the Eisenhower Accords and all of that. Well, Blue Book was going on even after that, though, wasn't it?
Well, the Eisenhower thing happened in 53, 54. Yeah. This was
52.
dated 52. Yeah. So
269.
right after supposedly he Eisenhower met with the Venusians, or shall we say, well, let's just say Thor Valiant and some representative of the Zetas. Majestic began.
Oh, Majestic 12.
Yep.
Okay, so that's when it really became compartmentalized then.
Yes.
Was the Eisenhower Accords, and then the Project Blue Book, I think, was the cereal box version of it all, where they would show this valiant effort of Valiant.
Yeah.
They would show this effort of going out to research it, like they were really doing their thing for the American people. Yeah, like they were trying to assuage people's fears, and get a handle on it. But man, my eyes just watering. Sorry about that, but it's interesting. I would like to see that documentary. I think there was a lot going on there, even in Project Blue Book. I'm sure that they uncovered a whole bunch of stuff that would have amazed a lot of us. But unfortunately, that all got locked down before public consumption, I guess. My eyes just burning up. Okay. But anyway, that's an interesting article. I like it. Hope you liked it too, everyone. Where are we at with the time, Don?
Oh, I have no clue.
3 minutes.
3 minutes already? Wow, the first half hour has flown away.
It did. That's what happens when you're in a panicked rush.
Yeah, I know. Huh?
That's all right, though.
You can slow down now, mister.
Yeah, you can breathe, Don. You can breathe. Grab some air. Grab some air. Respirate a little bit.
Not aspirate, respirate. Gotcha.
Okay, now this one looks pretty cool. This is it says it's hot. This is from October 17th. I don't think we'll have enough time to get into it before the break, but when we come back, we're going to cover an article about from a gentleman by the name of Reed, who said UFOs interfered with the U.S. nuclear program. And there's been stories about that for a long time of during missile tests, these strange craft coming up, beating the missile, zapping the cones of those missiles, and then flying away, and the cone just kind of breaking up and falling down.
Right.
Like
well,
it just killed it.
Yeah, and there was that time that supposedly UFOs through Montana had shut down the Minuteman.
The silos, yeah.
Minuteman silos. And
that's right.
At the same time, simultaneously over in Russia as well. So
yes.
Around the world, shall we say.
Around the world, ladies and gentlemen. It's been pretty well documented, or at least discussed, but we'll get into this article and see what it has to say about that whole phenomenon when we come back. We got a lot more coming up, too. Lots of different phenomena. We just happen to be on UFOs right now because that's how we roll on the portal. We're not just a one-topic show, ladies and gentlemen. We cover the whole spectrum as much as we can and try to bring you the most interesting current articles and news and reviews of information as we can. I just found a new channel, and I don't do this very often, but I found this new channel, and it's kind of a cool idea. Hey, Don, did you turn on the waterfall?
Hello? Hello? Anybody there?
The new channel I found, ladies and gentlemen, is called Skeptic. And, God, is that annoying as hell? What the hell? What if we lost the call line? Or if we lost TFR? Let me look. I'm going to have to look into this first, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we're all still here. I don't know.
I'm going to have to pee shortly.
Well, I got to leave that alone because that was way too easy. We're just going to go to break here in just a second, ladies and gentlemen.
Like
deal with the waterfall. I'm sure it'll come back and it'll be fine. Otherwise, we'll have Carlton take care of our static. He's the portal's fabric softener, so he's on the horn right now. The portal fabric softener himself. Is that you, Carlton? Are you there? Are you there?
Wow.
Oh, wow. No, we did drop off, see? We dropped off. So that's where the static's coming from for some reason. We'll connect that and get it back to you in just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to go to break. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more of the Paranormal Portal in just a couple minutes.
The reviews for Extended Light are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon my ankle
and gentlemen, welcome back. We are live and underway here on the Paranormal Portal. The first half hour is done, and we are now moving into half hour number 2, which is just double the fun, is all. That's what that means. And we got hour number 2 on the way after that, so it is just cooking along. Special thanks to Unknown from the chat room. The Unknown, he made that little video segment that I brought it back in for those of you on YouTube. Saw that chain come down with the words Paranormal Portal and the weird tentacle shadow thing. He did that. That was his donation to us on the show. So thank you so much for that, brother. That's very, very cool and just darn sexy, I think. And creepy in a good way.
Creepy and sexy. Wow.
And special thanks. Carlton is now on hold just in case we end up by the waterfall again. But so far, so good after coming back. I think that was just for some reason, the combination of the TFR connection and the phone line connection just creates that weird static thing. So thank you, Carlton, for remaining in the wings there, brother. That helps a ton. And thank you to all of our mods. You guys are doing a fantastic job, Titan, Cha-Cha. But Don, how about we see who's here?
Hey, a roll call. Cool. Yeah.
Let's
you know
see
what?
who's
As
here.
soon as my computer decides
I've got
to stop being stupid.
just a couple over in TFR. It's Bam's in there, Onslow
Bam.
is in there, and Nice Habitant. Nice Habitant. I like that name. Welcome, all three of you. Thanks for being here. And
Hello, computer.
hello there.
Hello, my darling.
Hello,
So, okay. Roll call for
YouTube.
YouTube. If you're not chatting, I'm not going to call your name because I don't see it on the screen. So, we'll start with A Whisper to a Scream Cryptids podcast. I forgot his first name. Paul.
Paul.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Andrew's here. Angel Tate. I'm just going to leave that one alone. Annie M's here. Aussie's here. How you doing, Aussie Tiger? Black Tree and Bomber, they're both here. I see Ben 1976. Cha-cha. We got Cookie Jarvis here. Digger Dog. Elaine is here. Ethan, of course. GLS, that's Great Lakes Squatch. Sasquatch. Hi, Pam. How are you? Pam's always going to be our favorite.
We've met her though. That was
We
cool.
have. She was her and Michael were the first ones to come meet us at the Medaling Falls.
Yep.
Yeah. Just our good buddy Justin's here. How you doing, buddy? Con Squatch is here. Kirsten's here. Kylie Victoria's here. Les is here. Lydia. Mary Bond. How you doing?
Titan.
Michelle's here. Patriot One Forever. Paul Holland there. Ruger Ridge is here. Salcedo Media is here. Titan's here. Tom Paul Cajun is here. And Wonder Woman. Why am I missing some? Oh, there we go. And YTFP Chris. Is that it? Well, if you didn't get your name called, you were late for roll call.
Thank you, Titan. I appreciate that donation, brother.
Oh, you got the donation?
Amazing.
Woohoo!
It's for the portal generator funnies.
The portal generator. Yeah, no doubt.
So we can't lose power. We love you. We love you all. Thank you so much. And thank you for all of you guys being here. If you're not subscribed, please get subscribed. It means a lot. It helps us out. We want the family to grow, obviously, but also if you could like the streams, that would help out a ton. And if you like what you're watching and you think you might know some people that might enjoy it too, please go ahead and share it. Share it out on your social media so that other people can get down with the sickness. You'll get down with the sickness.
It is a bit of a sickness, isn't it? I think I've got the paranormal portal.
Yeah. Oh, God, you poor man.
You poor
You
bitch.
poor man.
Marty, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we are maybe a bit of a sickness, but we're the sickness you just love to get.
Because you're down with our sickness.
I don't know if there's any treatment for that either, so good luck to you.
Is that like cat scratch fever?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about some UFO stuff right away tonight. Aussie Tiger, awesome, brother. Thank you so much. You're amazing as well. You're all amazing. Everybody's amazing that's here supporting what we're doing. Hey, yeah, forever.
I think Cha-Cha's mad at me.
Whoa.
Because I said Pam was our favorite. Cha-Cha's I think she's jelly.
Yeah, well.
She's all jelly.
All of our family is close to our heart.
If Cha-Cha was jelly, what kind of jelly would she be?
I don't even think I want to take a
Jalapeno, because she's spicy like that.
Jesus. Cha-cha-cha. All right, so let's continue on. And we'll see.
I'm so punch drunk right now.
Yeah, you're just kind of
Wow.
a drippy mess. But anyway, so let's get into this. Where this Reed apparently said UFOs interfered with the U.S. nuclear program. Oh yeah.
There, how's that?
Well, there you go. All right, let's start again. You know what it is there's two of these damn things, and I turn one on and we're fine, and when I switch a screen, it's not on the other one. So you and I got to talk about how to
Cha-cha.
streamline that.
Cha-cha, I just called you spicy, and you blame me again.
It's
It's Don's fault.
see,
Gosh.
maybe. All right, so perhaps the most concerning of all UFO incursions to be reported over the years has been the appearance of unknown objects within the vicinity of America's sensitive nuclear weapons sites. According to Reed, who was a key figure in the U.S. government's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, such incursions demand further investigation, not just in the interest of identifying who or what is behind such objects, but also because any interference in the launch or operation of nuclear sites is a very serious matter.
No way.
Duh. It's like, really? If they had been called upon by the president to launch the nukes, they couldn't have done it. He said during an interview for new documentary, The Phenomenon, which came out this week. And is that a bad thing, really? I mean, do we want nukes lobbing up there? Hey, I'm sick of them. He also reiterated his view that the U.S. government should be doing a lot more to get to the bottom of the UFO mystery and to determine exactly what's going on. Again, how I know he was in the Senate and stuff, but does he really believe they don't know? Yeah, this has got to be some kind of smokescreen. Nobody has to agree why it's there, but shouldn't we at least be spending some money to study this phenomenon? He said, shouldn't we study the stuff? The answer is yes, and that's all this was about, and why the federal government all these years has covered up, but put brake pads on everything and stopped it. I think it's very, very bad for our country. Fortunately, however, things may finally be moving in the right direction. Back in August, the Pentagon confirmed the existence of the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, a new endeavor designed to bolster existing efforts to investigate the UFO phenomena under the Office of Naval Intelligence. It stands to reason that investigating UFO incursions at nuclear sites would be a top priority for such an organization. However, it is unlikely the results of such investigations will be made public.
No,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Why don't we just give it to the TTBSA?
Let Tom DeLonge look into it.
Tom DeGong look into
I
it.
think he'd do a great job.
Oh, jeez.
He'd just farm it out to the Army, too.
By the way, remember that agreement we made? You pay me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
The
not rich or anything.
The Department of Defense and the military departments take any incursions by unauthorized aircraft in our training ranges or designated airspace very seriously and examine each report, said Department of Defense spokesman Sue Gao. I think this is Gao, G-O-U-G-H. Looks like it'd be Gao. This includes examination of incursions that are initially reported as UAP, or Unidentified Aerial Phenomena.
Ooh.
Like we need another acronym for this stuff,
I
right?
know, yeah.
When the observer cannot immediately identify what he or she is observing. So if you want to see more about Mr. Harry Reid and what he's got to say, you'll have to YouTube it. It's a sneak peek, Senator Harry Reid's bombshell revelations, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So there you go. I don't know. It's just lip service to me. It's not
Talking heads.
Yeah, he's not even letting anything go. I mean, he was in the government for how long? And that's all he's got to say is we should be looking into this more. Basically what he's saying is I should still have something to do.
Yeah.
Because he used to be in Congress, now he's not. So.
Well, it's only been 3 years.
Yeah.
He wants to get back into public life.
Yep. I don't know anything about the guy. He might have been okay. He might have sucked. I really don't know. But it's him giving this lip service really means nothing because a lot of people are looking into it very seriously as we can. But I don't think he'd do any better getting through those those iron gates of classified information as anyone else. So just because Harry Reid's name on it probably doesn't gonna give it much more credibility. I don't think, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he would. Maybe he could get some insider information that the rest of us couldn't. What do you think, Don? Maybe?
I think I'm going to keep my mouth closed on Harry Reid.
Oh, okay. So,
but I mean, if he can get something moving faster and better, that's great. But that's all I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, he might just be looking for a job at To the Stars.
TTBSA.
Yeah, yep. I like that extra letters you throw in there.
What extra letters?
The BS part.
I didn't say it. No, TTBSA. That's the To the Stars Academy.
What's the BS part?
What?
TTSBSA?
Are you talking about Tom Ding Dong's
yeah, no.
group?
Tom Ding Dong. Shalama Ding Dong. All right. Let's continue here and see what else we can dig up from the hotlines. Okay, that's UK. Oh, wonder what happened here. This is another UFO report, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I think we should probably go over this because it sounds pretty interesting. This is apparently was just from the 12th of October, this article. But I don't even know the background of what they're talking about, but it sounds absolutely interesting because apparently there's...
Wow.
And the article is again from unexplained-mysteries.com, and it says UK UFO case filed to be kept secret until 2072. What the hell's going on there that they need to keep it secret for another 72 years or 52 years? The UK Ministry of Defense has blocked the scheduled release of a dossier detailing a famous UFO case. This is 90. Back in August 1990, two hikers had been walking in the Scottish Highlands near Calveen Pitlochry, witnessed a strange diamond-spaced object, or shaped, do you think? Diamond-shaped object?
I think so.
Yeah, it says spaced, but right there, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't believe me, object hovering over a nearby landscape. They managed to capture images of the UFO before it sped off at a significant speed. Keen to get word out about what they had seen, the pair got in touch with the Scottish Daily Record newspaper and shared both their story and the photographs they had taken. Journalists then shared the images with the UK Ministry of Defense. It turned out that the hikers had not been the only ones to see the object. An RAF Harrier jet pilot had also witnessed the phenomena, again near Calveen, after being scrambled to investigate. Then the Defense Intelligence Staff sent these images to JARIC, and that's the Joint Air Reconnaissance and Intelligence Center, said former MOD UFO investigator Nick Pope. Now this is the UK's military center of expertise when it comes to imagery analysis. These intelligence personnel came to the conclusion that these photographs are real. It's a solid craft, and no one has the faintest idea what it is. 30 years on in the MOD dossier, including the photographs, have been scheduled for declassification and public release, as is typical for such documents. Now, however, for reasons unknown, the release has been postponed for another 50 years. Good God, under the 30-year rule, the file should have been released on January 1st, 2021, but if the ministry get their way, it won't be released until January 1st of 2072, an 82-year closure. One UFO hunter reportedly told The Sun, by the time the world gets to see the file, the two witnesses will be dead. It is crazy. What are authorities trying to hide? That's incredible. Yeah, why? They saw something, they got pictures of it. Why would they be, unless do you think it's an advanced military aircraft?
I have no clue. I mean, what... I see nothing in the picture. What am I supposed to be seeing?
Well, we don't have a picture. That's the point. It's locked down until 2072. But it's supposed to be a diamond-shaped craft in the sky, and they saw it. The two hikers saw it, and also a Harrier pilot was called to investigate, and he saw it as well.
Huh. There are so many things. As a matter of fact, I was talking to this guy I know, and he was telling me about today. He was telling me about Um, somewhere in is it the Aleutian Chains up in Alaska? You know, the Bering
Uh-huh.
Strait area.
Yep.
That back in the '90s, that U.S. shot down, quotes, air quotes, shot down a UFO, and was recovered by the Navy. Apparently, when it was recovered by the Navy, it was floating on the ocean. You know,
Okay.
so and then apparently there is a U.S. Navy ship that can come over the top of it, and this like kind of scoop it up out of the water, and away it goes.
Wow.
Excuse me, goodness. I've been wearing a mask all day. I've got all this built up mucus and stuff. I apologize. Um, so he was telling me about this, and what was the point? They took it to. So anyhow, he was telling me all these stories. I'm like, wow. But they apparently took it to Wright Patterson, which we hear a lot about, don't we?
Yeah, we do. It comes up an awful lot. But
And then they shipped it out to like Dulce, Area 52. So I mean, these things get shut up really quick. You know.
they do. They're compartmentalized. Now, on a side note, and this is just, I didn't know that ships have changed so much, but I finally saw pictures of the recent ships, like some of the new ships
I
that are
know,
out there.
Yeah, they're like more like hydrofoils.
They look like they look like the the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yep.
The who's that pirate guy that has the
Nemo,
Captain Nemo,
the
his ship.
Nautilus.
Yes, it looks just like the Nautilus. They
Yeah.
got that inverted bow where the pointy part is underwater.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my god, it's so funny, huh?
The pointy part.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry, this is maybe not the most mechanical or engineering kind of phraseology, but I was just like, oh my god, that looks like science fiction, and it makes you wonder if they do model designs based on some of these artists that come up for stuff for movies.
Right. Yeah.
You know, when you think about Star Trek, I mean, the Next Generation, their command consoles were basically big iPads.
Yeah.
You know, they're just dragging stuff around and doing touch screen stuff. And at the time, that was like, ooh, that's so futuristic and amazing.
Except for Sulu, he had and Chekhov, they had the the yokes to go forward.
Sure.
Engage.
Yeah, but my point being that for a large part, the command console was basically a big iPad, and or touch screen, whatever.
Right.
And now that's common. The cell phone is the communicators from the old series,
Yep.
from the '60s, and it's like all of this science fiction is actually like visionarily imagining our future that we have or are getting in a lot of ways. Like some technologies seem to just scream and make all this progress, and others of them just seem to just be turtling along. And I think it was Kev Baker, the Kev Baker show, that said, explain to me this. We've got telephones that are basically little supercomputers that fit in our pocket, and we've got electric cars, and we got all this different technologies. We got these home computers that are like hundreds of supercomputers back in the day,
Right.
and they have all this capacity and technology, and yet we're still lobbing rockets into space just like it was 1940s.
Yeah.
We're still using that same technology. Like that technology has not moved. It's almost been stagnant for the most part.
Yep.
And I'm sure Werner von Braun was, way ahead of his time in a manner of speaking, but
that was back in the.
that was
40s.
that in the day, and how much time has gone past that,
Right.
and we still don't have a better propulsion idea than that. Meanwhile, we got nanotechnology that can go in and start to, like remove cancer and stuff like that, but we can't seem to figure out a more efficient manner to launch things into space, or our cars can't float or something. I
Right,
still want flying cars. I mean, that's
Well, there is technically a flying car. As a matter of fact, Fidel Castro had a flying car.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Oh,
back
okay.
in the 60s.
Sure. I mean,
Had
so
wings
there
and
you go.
everything.
There you go. And they make them now, but they cost like hundreds of thousands of
You
dollars.
touch down on a highway,
Yeah.
pull off, fold out your wings.
Yeah, take
fold
off.
in your wings.
Rush
Bye.
hour? Yeah, there's no rush hour.
No rush
but
hour.
I mean, we're supposed to be like the Jetsons now, aren't we? Beep beep. So I don't know what happened, but we just kind of got the turtle technology as far as the motion and moving. But
Right.
we've got these other technologies that are just light years ahead from where they were back in the 40s, or if they were even existent. So I don't know. It's kind of disappointing. I'm just saying. We should be, in tubes now, like in the Jetsons, shooting around, like we're bank
We
deposits.
should have like space elevators and be able to, be on the moon already.
Yeah, I want to be like a bank deposit. And just go to the store. It's like
Vacuum.
next thing you know, you're in the supermarket. Yeah, that's what I want. I want that now. I'm ready for that change. I don't know. That you wouldn't have to scrape any snow off your windows or anything.
Oh God, that'd be sweet.
Unless you be the poor bastard who gets stuck in the tube.
We have a vacuum leak in tube 3. Vacuum leak in tube 3.
And it'll be the subterranean one that's like embedded in bedrock.
Oh my God, did you hear about that guy who went spelunking and cave crawling? No. And he squeezed into this little spot and he was upside down. And he squeezed in, he exhaled to get, a little more.
Yeah.
He got stuck.
Oh no.
And he eventually died like 27 hours. They had like IVs of like, morphine in his leg to keep him calm and shit.
Yeah.
Stuff. And anyhow, eventually. So anyhow, I'm sorry that brought that up.
Our demonetization is brought to you by Don Longbeard. No, I'm just kidding. You can cuss on YouTube. It's just I try to keep the show family friendly, and I know
apologize.
you do. I know you do too. I know you do too. I know you're tired though. That's okay. It happens. I can cuss too, just not on the air. I try not to. I've almost done it many, many times though.
It just depends on what you call cursing now.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I'm ready for that technological leap that we've been promised for so long.
And that was another thing I was talking about with this guy that I know. He's like, well, people were out. There was like 4 of us standing around talking, and one's like, well, why do you think we still have this kind of propulsion? I mean, we started talking about Bob Lazar and how he was talking about it was peeling space, and then it was like riding the wake, of the opening, and we were talking about propulsion and why we don't have that a better propulsion than putting something in the front end and blowing it out the back end.
Right.
And leave that there instead of
you caught yourself.
So why? And I'm like, well, even commercial electronics and technology, we're 20 years behind them, right? He goes, well, we're probably farther behind than that. I'm like, that's my point. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
and again, I think I said this on the last time we did a show together, which is last weekend or last Wednesday. That I don't remember who is it. Was it the high-ranking general is on record as saying we have the technology to bring ET home.
Right.
So I mean, it sounds like it's right there. It's already out there, and it's already maybe it's not cost effective to make it, but I mean we don't even know it exists, other than whispers and murmurs. And it would be neat to at least know what's coming down the pipeline.
Right.
I don't know. It's just me. I guess if you would ask me 15 years ago if we would be not buying movies anymore, we'd just be streaming them, I'd thought you were drunk. And now it's like everybody's streaming everything. And, I don't know. I never thought that day would come, but it did. So I'm not really a future visionary, but I just know what I want. I just know what I want.
I know what I want, and I know how to get it.
So here we got another cool article coming up, but we're gonna have to wait.
You're finding some really good articles.
I know they're interesting tonight. This one has to do with an Lax Jetpack Mystery.
Ooh.
And I haven't even heard of this, but now I want to. I did hear about this. That's right. Apparently, these pilots were coming in for a landing, and there's some clown riding a jetpack. And then I don't know.
How did they get into airport airspace?
Well, I don't think you have. I mean, you can get into it. It's just that you're not supposed to get into it.
Well, that's true. Well, yeah. How did they get into it without anybody knowing as well?
Well, probably because the radar image of it would have been just like a large bird.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, it's just a man, which is about the size of a large crane in many respects. Probably has about the same radar return signature. But it was a guy in a jetpack.
It ain't a condor, I can tell you that.
So we're going to get into that when we come back, ladies and gentlemen.
Already?
We're just about at the hour break. We're literally a minute out. Is Paisley doing her show tonight?
I think so. She says sorry she wasn't able to make it last night as well. But I do believe she is. I have no idea what it's going to be about. I've missed her show for the last couple weeks too. So
okay. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, after the portal, if you're listening on TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live, to stick around for the spaces between with Paisley Wild coming up after us. We're not sure what she's doing, but we know she'll do it well because that's what she does. And we are just about to go to our break.
Our break.
Our hour break. And we will be right back. And we'll get into this article and a whole bunch more. We're going to get into some Bigfoot reports in the last half hour. See what we can dig up there because that's just all kinds of fun stuff. So stick around, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll just keep the ball rolling. But as for right now, we're going to go to break. Those of you that are new to the show, just know that we're broadcasting on TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream. And we have to take breaks because the networks take breaks. So to keep everything in sync, I've put together these lovely videos for you guys to check out. Vignettes during the break so you don't have to listen to commercials. So we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away. And we will return in just a couple minutes.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, dripping scars across my heart. Raging anger pours inside me, and their lies keep falling apart. But I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken I am finished with my silence. I am not a stupid toy. No more breaking me with kindness. Just you dance upon my joy. Leading me with empty promise. You're just another fucking mess. Taking off the slice of my sanity. Just make sure that you're well fed. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet.
A nightmare from which they cannot wake. I've never sensed anything like it. Carol Ann is not like those she's with. They're attracted to the one thing about her that's different from themselves. Her life force is very strong. It gives off its own illumination. It is a light that implies life and memory of love and home and earthly pleasures. Something they desperately desire, but can't have anymore. Right now, she's the closest thing to that.
Poltergeists are usually associated with an individual. Hauntings seem to be connected with an area. A house, usually.
Poltergeist disturbances are of fairly short duration, perhaps a couple of months. Hauntings can go on for years.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We're back at it here. Hour number 2 is now upon us. Hour number 2, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you're ready for another full, fun-filled hour of the Paranormal Portal, because that's what we got cooked up fresh for you. Fresh from the portal ovens. But first of all, we got a phone call.
Lovins from the portal ovens.
That's a scratchy lovins from the portal. All right, let's get to the phone call. This is area code 236. You're on the air. Hello.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Absolutely.
No.
We have no idea who you are.
Are you with the CIA?
Welcome to the show. Who are we talking to?
No, I was in the chat and everyone was pushing me to call in, so here we go.
Here we
I'm
go.
calling in.
All right.
And I'm going to tell my story.
Oh, very cool. Well, go ahead. The floor
All
is
right.
yours.
So anyway, this is Kylie. I'm calling from Canada.
Oh, cool.
And I live on Vancouver Island,
Nice.
and that's just north of
Port Angeles,
Washington
Yep.
State.
Yep.
I'm guessing Washington State. Yeah, so like far west coast, just north of Port Angeles. And it's actually a pretty big island, but we're known for a lot of paranormal activity because, funny enough, 4 ley lines intersect in this very small area, and there's water surrounding the entire island, so it's kind of known to trap energy.
Oh, nice.
And it's had a very dark, weird history. So it's actually the most haunted place in all of Canada.
Oh, cool.
So I wanted to share my experience. When I was living in Vancouver, and I wasn't living here, I came over for a convention, and the convention was being held in the Empress, which is owned by the Fairmont, the hotel, which I'm sure they have in the States too. They're everywhere. And it's a really beautiful old castle-like hotel.
Oh, nice.
But unfortunately for me, everyone within our province was going to this one location for like a municipal event, and the royal family from England also happened to be there too. So it was completely booked up.
Wow.
And I called. I really wanted to get a room because I needed to be there for work. So I begged, and the person on the phone was like, I can't give you a room. And I kept pushing them, and finally they're like, okay, I have a room, but I know I should not be giving it to you. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. Just give it to me. I just need a bed. I need to be there at this day. Just give me a bed. And so we arranged something for this bed. So when I arrived, I went into the hotel room. I threw all my stuff down there, and that was all fine and dandy. And then I went on a ghost tour with my friend, and funny enough, during that ghost tour, the woman who was touring us around talked about a specific room on the floor that I was staying on that they said was extremely haunted.
Oh, no.
And I remember raising my hand, and I was like, I think this could be my room. And I talked to them about it, and they're like, yeah, like they were very persistent that they didn't want to rent that room out, right? I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I kind of put it in the back of my mind, and then I went back to the hotel with my friend, and basically I got to the front door, and I could hear music playing from inside the hotel room. And I was so weirded out that I was maybe like about to accidentally open up somebody else's hotel room, even though I knew this was my room. So I put the card in the key slot. It opened up, and I went into my room, and there were all these lights turned on irregularly, whereas I'm someone who turns off everything before I leave. But the lights were turned on irregularly. The TV was blasting. I went into the bathroom, and the toilet paper was like pulled off of the roll and clumped into the toilet, like a bridge from the toilet paper roll to the toilet. So I looked at this with my friend, and we both thought, okay, this is really, really weird. So we went down to the concierge and asked him, hey, is this something that happens from room keeping or whatever, room service or whatever? Is this like a regular occurrence? And he just looked at me and stared me dead in my eyes and said, there's a lot of weird stuff that happens here. And I went back there in the night and just said, hey, I need to go to sleep. I have work tomorrow. Please don't disturb me. So that's the story.
That's amazing. Wow. It seems like every hotel has a room like that, like there's always one room where something maybe very foul happened, or for whatever reason there seems to have an energy about it, but there always seems to be one room that has those problems, and they really don't want to book them out. But I got to give you kudos, though. Even knowing that you stayed in there, you're a champ.
Well, she made her statement.
Yeah, that's true. You did claim your space, and did you?
I want that room.
Yeah, exactly. You fought for it, so I don't blame you. But did you have anything happen overnight, or was it real quiet then?
No, everything else was fine. I feel like when you like state your intent and you recognize what's going on there, unless it's really, really dark, if you just say, hey, I recognize you're here. I'm kind of, at the time I was under the weather, so I said, I'm kind of feeling sick. I really got to get to work tomorrow. And they were respectful of that. So they weren't trying to, mess around with me after that. But
no, I got to ask you,
it was definitely an experience.
Have you had other paranormal experiences in your life? I think you've had other paranormal experiences, though, haven't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I've got so many. You know what? I was thinking about writing you an email because I have so many.
Yeah, I think
so.
I think we should talk.
If you guys want to hear this one.
I would love to talk to you about those. In fact, if you would want to be a guest on our podcast, I'd love to interview you and hear your stories, if you're game.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like I've been plagued by paranormal activity since I was so young. I have so many just really weird, bizarre experiences. And now, to be totally honest, like when I'm even in a relationship, I kind of like forewarn my boyfriend, like, hey, just so you know, some weird stuff might start happening, and it does.
No, babe, not tonight. No, babe, not tonight.
Sure.
That's really cool. So if you would email me at Paranormal
Portal. I'll definitely
email me at Paranormal Portal Radio.
Yeah, I definitely.
Sorry, we're getting a lag.
Okay,
so
sure.
And if you email me, and we'll figure out a time that it can work. I'd love to interview you. I'd love to hear your stories, and I'm sure our listeners would love it as well.
But the people would have to actually go to the podcast to hear it.
Right.
Because it won't be on the YouTube.
It won't be on the YouTube, but it'll be on our podcast. Now, what the giveaway for me was that you had this intense experience, but yet you were just like, hey, not tonight, guys. Yep. I got to get to sleep. I mean, that's the reaction of somebody who's been around this an awful lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sometimes you get that weird feeling in your gut that it's not good, but then other times you're like, oh, okay, it's weird, but it's okay, it can pass, and you don't feel like the need to run. So it was kind of that situation where I didn't feel the need to run away. I just wanted to address it and say, hey, I've got work to do. But there's definitely been times that I would absolutely love to share with you where I'm like, oh my God, I need to run for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'll send you an email, and I would love to come on the podcast and tell you some really, really creepy stories.
Perfect. All right, we'll make it happen. So email me at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com, and we'll schedule and get it figured out. But thank you so much for calling in. It's a wonderful story.
All right. It's so great to be on. Thank you for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, good night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye. Awesome.
That's cool. Very cool. I love that too, because, you know, just the way she reacted, it's like, hey, I need to get sleep. It's like, wow, this is somebody that's had a lot of this kind of experience. You know, this isn't her first rodeo. I knew this was not her first rodeo.
Right.
So very cool and perfect reaction. I mean, 90+% of the time, if you're in a situation like that, you just say, hey, I acknowledge you're here, but listen, here's the deal. I can't do this now. I got to be focused, whatever. Or, you know, if it's in your home, I'm not okay with this. Just, you know, I know you're here. That's fine if you're peaceful, but knock off all this other stuff. And,
Get out.
and, you know, one of two things has happened is that if it listens, you'll know it's just a spirit that's looking for acknowledgement. And if it doesn't listen, then, you know, you got to up the game and get some, you know, cleansing out, you know, and get it cleansed out of your space. But in most cases, they'll just back off. They just want to be acknowledged, and that's pretty cool.
I think Bomber's having a slight doppelganger moment.
Yeah.
She says, am I on the phone? What's happening here? Sounded like me a bit.
Wow,
that was Kylie from the other side of Canada.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yep.
You Canadians, man. You're representing tonight for sure.
That's right, yep.
And yeah, I agree, Carlton. That's exactly right. Just like people draw healthy boundaries. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You
Start
know,
throwing salt.
Exactly, because I mean, in most cases, in many cases anyway, these things were people, and as such, they're still people. They just don't have a body. They're like completely physically challenged. Bum. Thank you. But yeah, exactly. But you know, if you just talk to them and say, "Hey, I know you're here, but this is where I'm at. This is what I'm okay with. This is what I'm not okay with." If you can respect those boundaries, we can live here peacefully.
No doubt.
And most of the time, that's what you'll get. It's just claim your space. You know, they're not paying rent, so they got to live by your rules.
That's right.
You know, they so.
You know, we were talking about Canadians. I was at work the other day. This was yesterday. Anyhow, this gal bumps into me. She goes, oh, pardon me. I said, oh, no, pardon me. No, my fault. No, pardon me. She goes, what is this, a Canadian standoff? I was like, oh, yeah, sure, you betcha.
Pardon me. No, pardon me. It's my fault. No, it's mine.
It's mine. Sorry.
That's a Canadian standoff. That's
Canadian
funny.
Standoff.
I've never heard that before.
Neither had I. I laughed my butt off.
Gotta love it, ladies and gentlemen. But thank you so much again for that call. We've got another call that has come in.
Oh, nice.
This is from, let's get to this next call. This is from area code 586. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Salcedo Media.
How you doing?
Hey, how you
From
doing?
the chat.
Yep.
Good to see you.
I'm
Thanks.
okay.
Good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I was just listening to the last story involving kind of haunted places and
Yeah.
just kind of about, you know, dealing with whatever might be there. And it made me think of my own situation in my apartment that I'm in right now.
Okay.
And I just figured I'd call in and just share a bit about that if you wanted.
Please.
So,
Yeah, the floor is yours, brother. Go ahead.
well, it's just funny because I've been in this apartment now for over 15 years.
Wow.
And I've had experiences here and there, but there is someone that likes, or something, I'm not sure who or what, that likes this one closet in my bedroom. I have a one bedroom apartment.
Okay.
But it never does anything. I don't get anything bad from it, but I also get a feeling of like, I'm here, I'll leave you alone if you leave me alone kind of deal. from it.
Sure.
Those are the best kind of roommates.
And I've had that feeling, and it's funny because it's just, you know, I think it's really important not to freak out whenever you
Yeah.
encounter things, because you know, not everything is evil. I don't feel this is evil.
Yeah.
I had people tell me, you know, you should claim your space, but see, I'm in my situation. I actually like to be asleep in my living room. I actually have a bed in my living room.
Oh, okay.
Where all my stuff is at, all my computer and I just use the bedroom for storage, and that works fine for me.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's really not bothering me that, you know, that one closet in the bedroom is occupied in a way. And whatever it is does come out once in a while. It's funny because it always comes out. When it does come out, it only comes out during when I'm listening to paranormal themed podcasts or shows.
Is it knocking now?
And it's like it's no, but it's actually not out right now as far as I can tell. But I have noticed it before, and again, it never does anything.
Huh.
It's just like it comes out, and I don't know if it listens or.
Right.
But you know, it doesn't bother me.
That's really cool.
But I also just wanted to call in because I heard you, Brent, on Lighting the Void the other night, and
oh yeah,
that was a great show, and I just thought I'd call in to yours. So.
Oh,
awesome.
brother, I appreciate it.
But yeah, I have lots of stories, and I could go on for hours, but I just wanted to call in and share that because that you know, the topic and everything. So.
Well, again, you know, if you've got a lot to share too, please email me. I'd love to, you know, interview you on the podcast as well. I love the firsthand stories, the firsthand accounts.
Sure.
So if you've got stories of your own that you'd like to share,
well, and
go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, I've had so many that it's led me to. I'm actually launching my own podcast here coming up pretty soon.
Oh, fantastic.
Because of that, because I do think it's important to share your stories and everybody else's stories, so people know that they're not alone in what they're experiencing.
Right.
So,
yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I'd love to. That'd be great. That'd be great.
All right. Well, fantastic. I'll look for your email, brother, and thank you so much for calling in and sharing your story tonight. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Take care. Good night.
Nice. You know, it's one of those, you know, monster in the closet kind of things. I'm waiting for Mike Wazowski to come running through the door.
Hey, Sully.
Wazowski!
Mike Wazowski. Yeah, that would be the one.
You know, but at least it's, you know, something that's not bothering him. You know, it's not, you know, just out there, you know, shaking the bed when he's trying to, well, maybe the couch because he sleeps in his front room.
Yeah.
You know, but at least it's, you know,
it seems to be a respectful
it's
relationship.
still in the closet.
It is there, but you know, as long as it's respecting those boundaries.
Yeah.
And quite, you know, granted, he gave it a hell of a boundary. You know.
Yeah. Here's my room.
Most, you know, a lot of people are like, "You're welcome to live under the steps in the basement." You know, he's got a whole room to himself.
No,
so that's
I'll see it as like, here, take the bed. I don't care. I don't even use it.
Whatever. I'm not using that room anyway. Just you know, pay half the rent.
Just clean up, make the bed. I'm okay.
Drag a vacuum around every once in a while. We're good. Yeah, that's the haunting I need. Is one that'll drag a vacuum and dust. That's the one I want.
Oh man!
You're welcome to stay, but vacuum and dust weekly. That would be good.
Hey, can you do me a favor and hit the toilet this week? I forgot it.
I'd like to get the one that'll shovel my snow.
Oh God! Oh God! Talk about shoveling snow. Yeah. Here we are. Well, we actually, I think some parts we got up to 8 inches.
Yeah, I know.
Just yesterday, within like
it had to be close because
6 hours.
I still got the trampoline set up for the Minion.
Oh goodness!
And I mean, because I was expecting more of a fall than this jump to winter.
Yeah,
but
I was expecting a summer. Didn't get out of fall.
Yeah, I know. But next to the trampoline is a chair that he uses to get up on it. Yep. And it has, you know, a good 6 inches on there anyway, and that's after it melted down today. So we could have been at the 8 inches, and that's a hell of a baptism by fire for winter. It's just like, oh God, give me some flurries. Let me just, you know, watch them melt for a while. That'd be fantastic. I don't mind that. When it falls and melts, I'm good.
Right.
When it turns into this blanket of white hell, then I'm like, no. I don't know. This is a tough time of the year for me. It really is. But I'm doing the best I can. And one thing that makes it better, ladies and gentlemen, is having all of you here with me. It gives me purpose in life.
You give me meaning.
You put the wind under my wings.
I was gonna go there, but you beat me.
Yeah, that's all right.
You're like a half a second. You were right in front of me.
I cut in line. I wanted that.
Hey!
I wanted that punchline done.
All right, you got it.
We got an article here to go through that I promised we'd get through after the last break, but we had all these fantastic call-ins, so that's way better anyway. That is my absolute all-time favorite part of the show is when you guys call in. So please don't be hesitating at all to call in. That is what I love the most. Plus, I'm getting all kinds of podcasts out of the deal. So they're helping me in two ways. Share a quick story here, and we'll hear your stories on the podcast.
Which reminds me to remind you that you have to listen to the podcast to hear these stories.
Yeah,
This is not the podcast.
Yeah, we get people all the time leaving comments. Oh, I liked, on the YouTube videos, it's like, oh, I love this podcast. It's like, no, that's not the podcast. This is not the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This is our YouTube live shows. The podcast can be found on Pandora, Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Stitcher, CastBox, etc., Google Play.
Anywhere you get your podcast from.
Right. So this is just our YouTube stream, and usually the podcasts are completely different. We do sometimes take YouTube episodes and port them to the podcast, but they're not the same thing.
Do we portal them to the podcast?
We portal them. Yeah, maybe that's the better analogy. But just so you guys know, we got about 4 minutes here. I'm going to try to get through this jetpack.
Oh, that's right.
It's just a really short one. So let's get to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a weird anomaly that happened over in LAX. So this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. It says, for the second time, pilots have witnessed a jetpack flying at altitude over Los Angeles International Airport. Somebody just wants to die.
I know.
That's the wrong place to be experimenting.
Remember you were talking about the nose cone that got punched in the other day?
Maybe that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We just covered an airliner that had his nose cone just punctured in. It looks like, like it was made out of tinfoil the way it's dented in. But maybe they hit a jetpack guy. Back at the beginning of September, it was reported that pilots of American airline flight 1997 witnessed what they believed to be a guy in a jetpack 300 yards off their wing and 3,000 feet up in the air. The presence of something of this nature, especially at such a height and within the vicinity of a major international airport, sparked a great deal of debate at the time. However, no explanation for the sighting was ever found, and nobody came forward to identify themselves as the culprit. Well, duh. Yeah, I mean, hey.
I was the guy waving at you.
Yeah.
Hey, your gas cap's off.
Yeah. Your gas cap. Hey, get some air in those tires.
You got a flat tire.
So I'm sure somebody is not really anxious to go to federal penitentiary. Now, less than 2 months on from the incident, a Chinese Airlines crew has reported another sighting of a jetpack over the area, this time flying at 6,000 feet at around 7 miles northwest of LAX.
Wow.
It's a new superhero. It's Iron Man, ladies and gentlemen. What makes this phenomenon so strange is that jetpacks will typically make a large amount of noise and be fairly noticeable, yet nobody on the ground seems to have seen or heard anything. Both the FAA and the FBI are now investigating the sightings. Could someone be testing out a sophisticated jetpack over Los Angeles, or is the whole thing an elaborate prank? Perhaps involving a mannequin strapped to a drone. Ooh. Only in LA, one of the pilots is quoted as saying, search for answers continues.
Nobody walks in LA.
Yeah, well, they say they make a lot of noise, but they're right around an airport. Those are huge jets.
You don't hear 3,000. You don't hear that kind of noise from 3,000 feet up.
Right.
Much less 6,000 feet up.
Right. And this is in the company of major jets, so I'm betting the jets are louder. These international flights with these huge engines. I'm sure that they're not going to hear a little jetpack.
No.
But yeah, interesting. I don't know. Somebody's either got a death witch or we got a new superhero on the horizon here, ladies and gentlemen, which is fantastic. I think we need him.
Yeah.
We need him. Just saying. I'm ready for that whole...
Dun, 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 dun. I am Jet Guy.
Yeah.
What's your special power? I can fly up to 3,000 to 6,000 feet in the air and not pass out with no oxygen.
I've known to collapse a few nose cones on jets, but other than that, yeah.
What's your superpower? Taking down the big guys. What, you mean like politicians and bad guys? No, 747s.
I put people's flights on delay. Oh my God. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a real deal, apparently. apparently there's some clown out there shooting his jetpack around the airport, which is
Jetpack Johnny.
yeah. What do we call him? How about inmate 2537? Because once they catch him, that guy's going to prison.
He's
for
gone.
sure. Yeah, that's just something you don't screw around with, especially if you're, putting all those lives at risk. And what about his life? It was like, oh,
Yeah.
your jetpack breaks down. What next? Oh, you crash into an airport, maybe. But wow, how stupid is that? I mean, it's kind of cool, kind of exciting, but at the same time, when you think of acts of the sensible acts, that's not one of them. I think there's plenty of other places to test out your jetpack.
Like over a lake.
Yeah, like
Everybody else on
there's-
on YouTube.
There's a lot of desert around there, isn't there? Around LA, you can go just a little bit and go to a desert area.
Yeah.
Fly all over a place and check it out. But man, to fly it around an airport, unless you are Iron Man, you're not very bright. But anyway, that's in the news, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, break time.
There's the bell. So we're going to go to our last break. We'll come back and do some Bigfoot reports. So hang on to your hats. More fun to come here on the portal. We'll be right back. gentlemen, we got a half hour of fun left in the barrel here.
Only
So
a half hour left.
we've got the next half hour all chambered up, and we're ready to fire it now. So hope you guys are ready. It's been a great night, great participation. Thank you all for participating and being a part of what we're doing here. Do you see this? You see these appear every once in a while too, those little valleys?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know why that's happening now. It didn't used to happen. I'm talking about the YouTube feed. It gives me a live analytic of what's going on, how many
What does
people
your
are here.
OBS look like? You got a green light on your OBS.
Yeah, it's green over here. But the YouTube does kind of do that, and then it'll be like there's this bar, a graph showing people participation, all that stuff, and every once in a while it'll just valley down to like half the amount that are actually in there, or all the way down to zero sometimes. And I think, oh God, are we disconnected? And so it's just another quirk,
Yeah,
I guess.
it's gone now.
Yeah, it filled back in. So I don't know why that is. It's just more of the weirdness that is YouTube, but I can't complain. As long as you guys are here and enjoying what we're doing, then I'm just happier than hell. That's just all there is to it. Right, Don?
That's right.
Don's happy as hell, too.
Let's get in on it.
Let's get after it. Chris Cuomo, that idiot from CNN.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get after it. Oh, well. All right, so we'll continue on here, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we going now? We are going to some Bigfoot reports.
Oh.
I've been promised you some Bigfoot reports, and by God, I'm a man of my word. So, I'm kind of interested here. Isn't Vancouver Island also a hot spot for Bigfoots?
Right, yeah. Well, now, she was on Victoria Island.
Oh, Victoria Island.
Right.
Okay.
Vancouver Island's a different island.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess that wouldn't matter. We could look at Canada.
Canada?
And we could look at BC and see what's been going on up there.
I bet you there's been a lot up there.
133, and at least on this.
According to the Barfo?
Burfro. Going to Burfro Class A from 2019 of August.
Every time I hear Jim and Chris say the IBRO, all I can think of is eyebrow. I just can't think of any. I can't think of Irish Bigfoot organization.
Research organization.
Yeah, I just can't. It's his eyebrow.
Eyebrow. That's funny.
Who's that? That's eyebrow.
It's like a new toy. It's an electronic little robot. That's eyebrow. Here's one from Class A from British Columbia. It says it's near Nass River Bridge. That's apparently a town name. Highway 37. This is from 2019 August on Thursday the 29th. So let's see what's happening here. It says observed. We had a perfectly clear Class A Bigfoot Sasquatch sighting. Thursday, August 29th, 2019, 10 a.m. approximately. Northern British Columbia, Highway 37 south of Nass River Bridge, very remote area with a construction mustering site nearby. What does construction mustering mean?
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's different. And then they give you a bunch of coordinates, which I'm not going to go over here on the show. But since the distance was about 50 yards away, we're driving from Hyder, Alaska on our motorhome. The Sasquatch came out of the woods, crossed 2 lanes of highway in perfect sight, and disappeared into the woods. Both my wife and I both saw it. I still get chills describing this event. Based on our seated height in our motorhome, I would estimate the height at over 7 feet tall, walking almost completely erect. It never looked either way or hesitated before crossing the highway. It was intent in its purpose. Dark brown hair from head to toe. Chest was flat, not a female, ? Broad strides and long arms, but not ape-like. I couldn't stop as there was no shoulder to pull over, and the traffic that was present was limited to large tandem logging trucks traveling at high rates of speed. I barely slept that night trying to process what we saw. What it was or wasn't, if only I would have purchased that dash camera for our, oh my God, no kidding.
Yeah.
9,506 mile Alaska trip.
Wow.
I feel fortunate in having seen this, and retelling the story brings a great deal of interesting response. What's it say? The show is all that more interesting since I know they're out there. What show? Okay. I don't know what show they're talking about, but having research on the subject further, the one we saw looked most closely to the Patterson-Gimlin photo, except our view was a complete profile only. And it says they also noticed that it seemed as if the Bigfoot just disappeared into the forest. Now, here's an interesting thing that I did hear, because I think people are expecting that the females have breasts, much like human females. However, apparently in most primates, with the exception of human beings, they only have breasts during times of nursing children.
Oh.
So as soon as they're done nursing a small one, their breast may very well disappear and make it next to impossible to tell without having a clear view of the genitalia. But so not seeing breasts may not be. Now, they may have breasts all the time. No, nobody's quite sure, obviously, because it's Bigfoot, but it is very possible that female Sasquatch or Bigfoot would only have breasts during times of nursing a child, and after that they would, return to a flat chest. So that may very well be what's going on. So can't always trust that, but that's interesting. Now, another weird thing, and this is always a question in my mind, and we get into why. Because I don't know how busy that road is, but I can't imagine it wouldn't have been impossible for that thing to wait until there was no cars coming,
right,
and then make its move. But for a species that tends to, favor its absence from us, or keeping us unawares of it, even to the point of allegedly being reported to drag like cedar branches to cover their own tracks.
Right.
But here's one walking right across the the highway in plain view during early almost midday daytime range. It's like, wow, really? So that always surprises me. Or even at the night would have made more sense. Now, I don't know. Maybe they're on a schedule.
Yeah.
But it could be
we got to make this crossing by 2 p.m. or else you're going to be late. That's just the way it is.
My dad's going to be pissed if I'm not home by sunset. I got to go. It could be. You never know. But it always surprises me that they choose to make those bold moves. Right. But again, as Bear said, could be counting coup. Could be like a challenge game that they play with each other. Like they get some like a point or a recognition for doing something brave, in front of us. And that makes sense because, you hear about them coming up and slapping houses and stuff. Well, other than being an absolute nuisance, what's the use of that? What if it is like a counting coup? Like, hey, I'll bet you can't go up there and hit that house. Watch me. And then, sure enough, slap house. And some people are just terrorized and terrified by that. But it could just be something as stupid as, like a challenge.
Yeah.
Hey,
man, I dare you can't do it.
Hey, Rogthar, I'll bet you won't. I bet you won't go touch their iron horse.
Some Rogthar.
I don't know. I just made that up. But
that's good.
Rogthar.
I like that. That's right.
Rogthar the Squatch. That's a new addition to our T-shirt line anytime soon, I'm sure.
I'll have to figure out how to spell it.
Ragthar.
Thar. Okay.
Rogthar. Yep. I don't know. That's what came to my head. So we're going to go with that. But that's the first of the interesting reports. Again, lots of questions from these because why the bold behavior, and that the surprisingly like the BC Canada footage where that family's hiking, and in the distance there's right at the tree line. There's this big, almost looks like an orangutan from the back. It's just so, but it stands up, and it's obviously not an orangutan. It's huge. Right. But it just kind of gets up and lumbers into the forest. But I'm sure it had to have known people were coming. I think that these things probably have ears that are probably in the sensitivity range of like at least a dog. Like they could at least hear that well, and which is phenomenal, of course. But sense of smell would probably be akin to that of a dog or a bear. We have another phone call. Outstanding.
Oh, and by the way, let me make an addendum. I'm sorry. Yes, it is Vancouver Island. Victoria is the capital of that particular.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Place. So my apologies.
Okay.
Don't beat me. Believe it or not, I'm from Seattle.
He's from Seattle. All right. Let's get to the phone call and see what's going on. Area code 225. You're on the air.
Hey, how y'all doing, fellas?
Hey, we're doing good. How are you tonight? Who are we talking to?
I'm pretty good. You can probably tell who this is, huh?
No, not.
I bet you it's Ben.
Is it Ben?
That's Ben. Yeah, it's Ben.
We could tell, brother. How you doing, man?
Yep. Good, man. Good, man. Remember when I told you all the story about the Ouija board?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I told y'all my grandmother gave us the Ouija board and kind of pushed us to play it. So my mom and all of her siblings, that when they grew up in that house, my grandmother's house, they had a lot of ghost experiences.
Ooh,
and
really?
It still goes on to this day.
Nice.
So the first thing, my mom was young. Her and her sister slept in like two different beds, but it was like little small beds.
Sure.
And so my mom one night just happened to be, like hearing noises and stuff.
Okay.
So she went to bed and she said she didn't really sleep too well. And her sister was awake the whole time. So this apparition came from the hallway into their bed, and it walked to the front of my mom's bed.
Oh, jeez.
And it was just looking at her.
Wow.
So they told their parents, my grandma and grandpa, they told them the next day. So, and they asked them, what did this look like? So my mom described to a T my grandfather's grandmother.
Oh, wow.
And she was, yes, really, dude, really. And they had a picture of her. They said, "Is this her?" Exactly.
That's really cool. That's a beautiful.
There was yeah, dude. It's crazy. How does that happen?
Well, I think they stay with us. I think they stay a part of the family. At least some of the times, I think they stop in.
Yeah, and I guess you're right.
Yeah.
So that house has always been really, really had a lot of activity. There was a time that my mom and them were getting older and stuff like that. They would always hear stuff going, like somebody walking up the stairs. And my grandfather never believed it. And one day, he heard it for himself. He was in his study. He heard it for himself, and he looked down the stairs. Dude, nobody's there.
Wow.
Nobody is there. It's just footsteps. Yeah.
Mm.
And supposedly, this house is built over a graveyard. Well, that's that's kind of cliche, but a slave graveyard.
Oh, sure.
Because I'm in South Louisiana.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that would definitely leave the psychic impression. For sure, there'd be a lot of energy if that's the case.
Yeah.
Wow, that's intense. But it doesn't seem harmful. It just seems.
Dude,
active.
I've. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said it doesn't sound like it's harmful kind of stuff. It's just active, huh?
Yes, it's pretty active. It doesn't. No, it's never harmed anybody.
Good. Okay.
You see like orbs and stuff in there, like basketball size.
Wow.
I've seen that. Once when I was young, it was a Saturday night, and we all, Catholic church. That's what Catholic. That's what everybody is in Louisiana.
Yeah.
So Catholic church is on Sunday morning. So I was young, dude. I was sleeping in a bed. My brother was sleeping in the other bed, and dude, I heard those like louver doors, the closet doors that have like the louvers on them.
Oh, sure. Yep.
So I heard like something was going down the louvers.
Oh no.
And then, dude, I looked at this orb that I could see through. I looked at it float the whole way across the room, and it came to me.
Oh.
It came to my side of the room. It came towards me, and it disappeared. Dude, I felt I had had some brand new Air Jordans. Dude, this is in the 80s.
Sure.
I felt those things something pull my Air Jordans. Dude, this is crazy. You know what happened, dude? Every time we would go sleep at my grandma's, we would run down the steps and eventually sleep in her room. She said it sounded like a herd of buffalo every time.
Sure.
Yeah.
There was always something going on, though,
But
huh?
yeah, yeah, man. But I mean, I don't know what, I don't know. My grandma was kind of a very big question mark to me because I don't know. I mean, what kind of grandmother would push a Ouija board on kids?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, that is a weird one. That's an interesting one, and especially given the fact that it was used. I don't know. Maybe she was really confident that it wouldn't hurt you, or maybe she's up to something. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I hate to comment on those kind of things because I don't want to disparage the memory of anybody, But at the same time, man, that is weird.
I understand.
Yeah, that is.
I
weird.
understand, dude. We always had Great Danes. She sent us some meatballs one time that nobody wanted to eat because we were kind of suspicious. This was after the fact of the Ouija board thing. We gave it to the Great Dane. That dog died the next day.
Oh my God, dude! Well, maybe Grandma was really screwed up, brother.
Yeah, man. Maybe so, dude. And you know what? She was not really likable, but she always had a army of friends at her house.
Oh,
so, dude, it really makes me wonder.
Yeah.
Especially since voodoo is so prevalent over here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a lot of spirituality prevalent over there. Man, New Orleans got a lot of weird stuff going on, but yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will.
With the Ouija board is one thing, but giving you guys poison meatballs, that's a whole nother game.
That's game off.
Yeah. Well, now she's
really
passed,
man.
though, right? She passed a long time ago.
She has passed, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not trying to disparage any.
She has passed.
I always try to be careful about speaking negative about the dead, but that is pretty suspect, man. That's pretty suspect.
It is, and dude, the doors would unlock and open by themselves. They'd hear really heavy things dragging on the roof.
Oh, jeez.
When I was a teenager, I was over there. A panel popped out from the wall. A panel popped off of the wall. You know those little wall. You know those wall panels.
Yeah.
It's not really wallpaper. Yeah. Panel popped off the wall. A fan. We went downstairs because that scared the crap out of us. We went downstairs. They had a fan in the room, so we went back upstairs. The fan was in a different room, and this big giant fan, dude. It's just crazy. That kind of stuff is crazy.
Yeah, it is, brother.
You know what, dude? I wouldn't believe none of this stuff if I wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah, that's scary stuff, man. But I'm glad you guys all made it out okay, and I'm glad that I'm glad you didn't eat those meatballs. But it's great to hear from you, man.
Yeah, really, huh?
Yeah.
What's that?
I said it's great to hear from you, though, man.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, man, y'all some good dudes.
Thank you, sir.
So y'all continue y'all show, man. I'm gonna listen.
All
man,
right.
y'all mods are good.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Y'all mods are good.
Yep, we got good people in here for sure.
All right, fellas. Have a good night.
Okay,
good night,
good
Ben.
night, Ben. See you now.
All right.
Hey,
have a good one. All right, bye.
bye. So, Brent, Lady Death is in the chat.
I know she's been here lately.
Has she?
She's been showing up.
Wow.
It's been nice having her back.
Why is she not in blue?
I just hadn't seen her for a long time, so I was just kind of cleaning house.
Oh.
But
You can always have it back, I'm sure.
yeah, if you're going to be back for sure, I'd remod you.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's great to see
her.
you, though. Yeah. Sorry, my eyes are just going crazy.
That's
tonight.
okay. You know what? We only got a few minutes left. It's
I know
odd.
the night has just flown by.
Yeah.
It really has. We got 5 minutes left.
5 minutes.
It's probably enough time for another BFRO fun.
Yeah.
Where should we go now, Don?
Barfro.
Should we stick with British Columbia and see when another one
Is there
from
another good Class A?
Yep, 2016 September.
Lady Death is Paranormal Popo. She's
Yeah.
one of the original Paranormal Popo.
Yeah, she's old school. She was with us way back when probably in the first when we were in like the first 150 subscribers.
Oh yeah, she was definitely.
She was
within
early
there.
to
She
the
was
party before we had even anybody around.
and before 10, you know.
Yeah. Well, we used to do the show at 10 p.m. Pacific time until midnight, and that's when Lady Death found us.
Yeah, that was
Back when we were in the
quite a
way
while
late
ago.
crowd. So.
Yep.
Yeah, but let's see. We got another one from.
What do we got?
This one's coming from British Columbia, Canada. Nearest town is Harrison Hot Springs. And it says, my name... Oh, is this really long? No, it's okay. I'll be able to get through it. Observed, my name is Ingemar Rommel. I'm a 52-year-old Swedish archaeologist and a proud member of the BFRO. I've attended several BFRO expeditions in North America over the years. North Florida expedition, and is given a laundry list. That's not necessary. I also attended blah, blah, blah. Okay. I've been walking around alone in the forests of North America looking for Sasquatch and footprints. In a hot spring area, the forest north in northern Florida, I found an old footprint in the sand in February 2009. In the mountains above Bluff Creek in northern California, I found a footprint in snow on a mountain road in May of 2009. I have pictures of both. I was surprised at how easy it was for me to find footprints of Sasquatch in the USA. I also participated in the conference, blah, 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 expedition. Wow, is this a report or a resume? What the hell am I reading here? Sasquatch exists. I'm proudly stand for that anytime. Anyway, I attended, blah, 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 another one. Rescue group left the area. Okay, so this was the one. British Columbia expedition in 2016, but that took place on September 8th through 11th. On Monday, September 12th, the organizer and the rest of the group left the area where we had the expedition and started to drive back to Vancouver. We were four men in 2 cars, and I was sitting in the passenger in the second car. The sun was shining this day, and the landscape was very beautiful to look at. Being a Swedish tourist, I was looking out through the car windows as much as possible and talking to the driver. After driving for some time, around 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon, we got close to the bridge on Morris Valley Road, Weaver Creek Road, by the 12th kilometer sign. Then I saw movement on the left side of the road. I turned my head to the left and saw for what I estimate to be about 2 to 3 seconds, a reddish-brown human-looking figure with an ape-looking head that quickly moved from a trench up towards some trees and then froze. The body was still, but the head was locked to the car, and the face and eyes followed the car as the car moved. I had eye contact with that figure, and the eyes was very mean-looking. I got really scared by looking into the eyes, and a thought immediately came into my head, Elak Apa, which means ape in Swedish. And that's what came to my head. I would call it a reaction based on instinct. The eyes were very frightening, and he really looked like a killer. He looked intelligent, but he also seemed to be aware of the danger of being seen by a human. He was not relaxed, he was worried. The figure that I saw was clearly a male, no breast or broad hips, or anything like that. I'm 6'3" and think that he was as tall as me. He was thin, had no big muscles. He didn't look like Patty from Bluff Creek. To me, Patty looks like a bipedal gorilla. I told this to Bob Giblin when I met him in Kennewick in 2017. And he told me that they come in all sorts of looks, some more ape-like and some more human-looking. The male that I saw looked more like a mix between an orangutan and a human. He looked like a slender male around 20 to 35 in human age, and he had short, reddish-brown hair on his body. The best description... God, my eyes are just watering like crazy. The best description I can give is that he looked like the reconstructed face on Google Pictures for an Australopithecus africanus, but with a higher forehead and less prognatism. Prognatism? I don't know what that means. But Anyway, that's his report. I don't know. I can't really read right now. My eyes are literally, it's like I'm crying, but we are all out of time anyway.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, see, there was another call. I'm sorry we didn't get to it, but I'll be back tomorrow night doing the night terrors. If you want to call in then, I'd be happy to take your call, or email me at paranormalportal@gmail.com or paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. But Don, anything in closing?
Nope. Just remember Spooky20 for 20% discount on your Teespring shirts.
Okay.
And I do not know what Paisley's talking about tonight. But there it is. We will see you next time.
All right, guys. Love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. I'll talk to you guys soon tomorrow night on the Night Terrors. Good night, everybody.
Good night.